Tomorrow morning at Affiliated Medical Services here in Milwaukee, they're going to be murdering your preborn neighbors, little children. And what are you doing about it? You just went to a Christian concert. Will you rescue your neighbors from death tomorrow morning at the abortion mills?
Are you practicing pure and undefiled religion as described in the book of James? The book of James says that pure and undefiled religion before God the Father is this.
Tomorrow morning at Affiliated Medical Services, they're going to be murdering children, your preborn neighbors. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to sleep in your bed while your neighbors are murdered? Are you going to go and help them, rescue them from death? What's our response in the midst of mass murder? Helpless little children are being murdered all over this culture. They're going to be murdered tomorrow morning. And what's our response as Christians? You just went to a Christian concert, but what are you going to do tomorrow morning about children being mass murdered here in Milwaukee? Are you going to ignore it like most Christians do? Or are you going to take action and love your neighbor as yourself? What are you doing? If you're a professing Christian, what are you doing about your preborn neighbors being murdered? They're going to be murdered tomorrow morning and nobody cares. At the abortion mills, there's almost nobody there. We'll go to a Christian concert and sing praises to God, and yet tomorrow morning children are scheduled to be murdered. Do you care? Do you care? Your neighbors are scheduled to be mass murdered tomorrow morning. We're called to love our neighbor as ourselves, and we're not doing that. Our preborn neighbors are being murdered. They're scheduled to be butchered tomorrow morning, and yet how many people are going to be sleeping in their bed going to this concert tonight? We need to love our preborn neighbor as ourselves, not neglect them when they're being ripped apart. What are we doing? I encourage you to look up Affiliated Medical Services and the two abortion mills in the area. Go out to the abortion mills tomorrow morning. If you came to a Christian concert tonight, go to the abortion mills tomorrow morning. Rescue your preborn neighbors from death.
Right now?
Yes, ma'am, right now. What are we doing about mass murder?
Abolishing it.
Well, are you abolishing it, sir? Are you taking action? Are you going to the abortion mills? Yes. You are? I'll encourage others to join you. What does true Christianity look like in a culture that murders helpless children? Does it tolerate it and ignore it? Does it look the other way while children are being murdered? What does true Christianity look like in a culture where children are butchered? What are we doing for our helpless preborn neighbors who are being murdered?
God bless you. You masturbate, you murder children too.
What are we doing for the least of these who are being butchered every day on our watch? We're going to be butchered tomorrow morning at the two abortion mills here in Milwaukee. What are we doing?
I'm proud where everyone agrees.
Well, you agree, but what are you doing? At the abortion mills tomorrow, there'll be almost nobody there that's not agreeing with me. Tomorrow morning at abortion mills in Milwaukee and all across this culture, your preborn neighbors are going to be butchered unless intervention takes place. That's why we're here. We're asking for help.
I completely agree with you.
But what are you doing? Will you be at the abortion mills tomorrow morning here in Milwaukee? I encourage you to do so, sir. I really do. Jesus Christ commanded the second greatest commandment to love your neighbor as yourself. Your neighbor is going to be murdered tomorrow morning here in Milwaukee. What are we doing about it? Are we just singing songs here in this concert?
Happy dance, Danny.
Raising our hands in worship to God while our preborn neighbors are being mass murdered on our watch?
Not against
What? What? We're not saying they are. But this is the perfect place to do it because everyone here is pro-life. They need to take action. A lot of people here, most people here say they're pro-life, but what are they doing to abolish abortion? Nothing. How do I know? Because I've talked to Christians for years and they're doing nothing about this. They're putting more hope in the Supreme Court. They treat the Supreme Court as God, and they're doing nothing. They don't go to the abortion mills. They don't go to the streets over this matter, over this Holocaust. What are we doing about this? Our preborn neighbors are being mass murdered and we don't care. We go to the abortion mills tomorrow morning here in Milwaukee and rescue children from death. Most Christians will refuse to do that because it's uncomfortable. They don't care about their neighbors in the womb. Here you go, man. When will we rise up to abolish abortion and stop trusting in a wicked Supreme Court who will do nothing about this Holocaust, but keep it going?
Yeah, we just needed
What are you doing tomorrow morning when your preborn neighbors are going to be murdered, mass murdered? Will you be sleeping in your bed, or will you rise up and take action and love your neighbor as yourself?
Amen.
Rescue them from death.
Thank you.
I encourage you to go to the abortion mills tomorrow morning, sir. Look up where they are. What are we doing about our preborn neighbors being murdered? We need to love them as ourselves. In 45 years, over 60 million children have been mass murdered on our watch, and we have tolerated it. We've done nothing about it. We put faith in a Supreme Court that is evil, and pro-life politicians who are evil. We need to be obedient to God and rescue those who are being taken away to death, to deliver them who are being taken away to death, and we're not doing that. Look up where the abortion mills are on your smartphone. There's 2 here in the area. Will you be there tomorrow morning? Why would you do that, sir? Are you a Christian? Why would you do that?
The American church's hands are full of women. Day after day, ignoring the people who feel surrounded.
My grandchild doesn't need to see that.
But you do, ma'am. Everybody here does. Well, if you agree, come out to the abortion mills tomorrow morning. Work to abolish abortion. You may ask, why are we here? We're pro-life, we're anti-abortion. Yes, you may be, but being pro-life does not rescue children from being mass murdered in abortion mills.
There's kids around, dude. There's kids.
And there's kids going to be mass murdered tomorrow morning. What are you doing about that?
There's kids here that don't need to see it.
But what about these children right here, sir? They're being mass murdered, and you're tolerating it. Most people here are tolerating it. Care more for preborn children being mass murdered, man.